Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a good week. Happy Wednesday. I wanted to just take a minute to do a quick video just to kind of put forth what you're going to be doing for week 5. This is kind of an early review video because in week 5 you are going to be developing your action research plan for your action research project. Now, this may be a project that you actually end up implementing in your classroom, or it may be something that you just develop a plan for but may not get the opportunity to implement at this time. Hopefully, maybe you could implement it at a later time. But I just wanted to just make sure you're aware of what you're doing for that assignment as it is coming up and as you're finishing up week 4 and thinking about week 5. For this assignment, I encourage you to look at the major assignments module under the table of contents and then look at the specific link to the action research project. And under this link, you're going to find several links to resources to help you as you complete this project. Specifically, you're going to find a PowerPoint that's going to give you the specifics of what I'm looking for in this assignment. Basically, what I want you to do is to outline your plan for completing this action research within your classroom. And so in doing so, your plan needs to include several components to it. First of all, you need to have an area of focus statement, and as you look at the PowerPoint, you'll see more about that. But that is just simply going to be a sentence or two that will set out what your plan is to do for the action research project. You're going to identify your variables in your research question or questions if you have more than one. You're going to identify what the intervention is for your project. If you are going to try out a new activity, that would be your intervention. But whatever that may be, you're going to identify that, along with your membership of the Action Research Group. Those are going to be the people involved. It may just be yourself. It may be people that you work with on your team. It may be other people within your school. It may be people within this class. Whatever your team is, you're going to put that together. And then finally, you're going to finish out with discussing your timeline and your data collection. And one of the points that's brought out in the PowerPoint in regards to data collection is the importance in research to triangulate your data. And what that means is that you are using multiple sources, ideally 3 or more, to allow the data sources to come together to help answer that research question and arrive at your conclusions. Because the more you can triangulate your data, the more you're going to be able to solidify the conclusions that you're making. If one data source is pointing towards one conclusion and other data sources are also pointing to that conclusion, then you're able to better state your conclusion with more authority. And so as you think about your data collection, think about trying to triangulate that data. What are some multiple sources of data that you're going to use to help answer that research question and that area of focus statement? In terms of data, data can be, of course, qualitative or qualitative, which is more, back up. Qualitative or quantitative. That's what I'm trying to say. So the idea, as you've read, and that's one of the reasons you've been reading all of these research articles, which I know have been challenging at times, is to help you see different ways that research is done in the area of math education. If you if you take qualitative data, then the idea is a lot of times what researchers will do is they will code that data and look for themes across the data sources. If you use quantitative data, of course, you can use the statistics from that quantitative data to help answer your research questions. And then some, as you have seen in your research articles, maybe kind of a mixed methods approach in which you have a little bit of quantitative and a little bit of qualitative data that you've collected based on your research. So one of the ideas of reading these research articles is leading up to this week 5 in terms of developing your plan, in terms of the data and understanding ways that that data can be analyzed and collected in the area of math education. Also for week 5, you are going to be reading the Principles to Actions book. Mike Flynn talked about this book in his video or in his podcast about the importance of this book in the area of math education. And so one of the things I will also be looking for in your action research plan is how you've incorporated this book and what you've read about from this book into your plan. So be sure to kind of let me know as you develop your action research plan what you've been doing to excuse me, to incorporate this book and your reading from this book into your plan. All right, I think that's about it. I'm continuing to grade. I'm grading as much as I can on discussion boards, loving continuing to read all that you're writing. I am going to be working also on grading your major assignment from your standards paper from last week, and then what you're working on for this week as well. So keep up the great work. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll touch base again soon, but I just wanted to kind of give you a heads up of what's coming up in week 5 as you finish out the course. So I hope you have a great rest of the week. Bye.